Yeah. So you think, Max, I can start? Okay, good. Hi, everyone. Thanksgiving stream, Black Friday, and I will be today alone. Most likely, I will keep it short. As you will see during our stream, there's a reason why I want to keep it short. And it's a bit unusual to speak alone on the stream. So the Black Friday, as it looks, and based on our last week stream, last week talk, where we preferred a kind of recovery growth, let's say entering the buy zone. This time we were right. Congrats if those who act on it. This week is different, yeah. So, and as it's seen on the screen, there is a reason why it's different, and there will be few other screens. There are no extreme readings. Like last week when we talk, they were kind of good enough, actually more than good enough to consider a buying zone. But now, and here's the price of Bitcoin. Actually, I can change it. I think I can change it to Ethereum because mostly I'm referring to Ethereum in my analysis. So there is a income in Ethereum zone of let's say 332, like here 3,200, 3,250, which I suspect will be quite heavy resistance. And we see from price action, it is already now start happening now, like choppy actions going up and down. So right now, and there is quite good chance, in my opinion, that 3.2, and then we'll try to retest the recent lows. Yeah, and so this is a time when you don't do anything. If you entered before, I still believe it was holding it. But the main point is once we hopefully get to the 3.1, 3.150, this is the point where we'll need to revisit, analyze, check metrics once again. Did we get extremely positive, or do we still show, as it is now, some level of concerns or disbelief? Which was the main reason last week why we say, oh, now really buying the dip, as you see now, doesn't seem to be trending anymore, went down. And it has been replaced with another narrative. Let's say I just already prepared now MicroStrategy and all similar DAT companies. Maybe they will get liquidated. You've seen the stocks quite intensively over the last week and this week. So once you see that buying the dip is replaced with another narrative, which can be as a rationalization why we might, should, will go lower, it's a quite solid buy. So we've been here, and we still have this kind of concern. It's quite strong. As you see, it's here on the second column, if you look on the right side. We went up to 4% dominance, mind you, which is the way how we build it, how we calculate this number. I tell you, it's a quite high reading. 5% social dominance, it's already very high. Any narrative getting to this level, it's strong. So the level of concern is still here. The buy the dip is not more the topic, so it's still preferable to continue going up. But as I say, we are so close to 3.2. So Black Friday was last week. Now we chill, don't do anything. Yeah. And that was the reason why I say I'm not sure we will have to, or we need to talk long this week. This week we shouldn't do anything. Maybe it's better to stay with friends. But we can look some friends and family. We can look some other chats. So our developers, we were discussing what if we do one thing, and this is a chart which will visualize this thing. We take debt generation, or like current debt on major lending borrowing protocols, and here it will be on, I think, on Aave, on Morpho, even on Compound, on Spark, Liquidity, Fraxland. And we have this other line. It's like total borrowed, total debt in the red line. As always, green is the price of Bitcoin. And but we also measure, we already measured this matrix have been in use for a long time, but we plotted here how much is being paid back. And we have a line which is deduct payback from people pay back the debt from current outstanding debt. Why? The reasoning for this was and still is, and you will see on the chart just a few moments later, when there are spikes, it's always like a signal or anomaly. As a time series, usually it's like moves, and then there are spikes which are normally displaying, showcasing there is something going on in the market structure. So when there is a spikes which are negative, it means we see more paying back of debt than creates a new one. Means people concerned, yeah, maybe get liquidated, or it could be a combination of those who are holding debt say, oh, market will go even lower, my collateral will get liquidated, I will have to pay fine, and God knows when it gets liquidated. Those who feel worried and concerned. And that's why we build this chart layout. As always, we will share, or we can share it, or you can ask in the stream or in our Discord to share the chart layout. And it shows that once again, last week was quite good time. Now, like, yeah, we take now for all protocols combined. You see this yellow line? And let me take it maybe a bit shorter time, you will see the difference. So last week was still a kind of negative spike, and you'll see that most of the bottoms it has spike. Look at current week, where we stay now. It's not a signal, it's a noise. Yeah, there is nothing to act on. And when there is nothing to act on, you don't do anything. Or you just shouldn't feel enforced to do anything. So last week was quite strong, this week nothing. Yeah, and if you took one by one, or hour, actually there was even last week on hour was not so strong. I think it was on Morpho. Yeah, on Morpho was quite a strong signal. There was liquidations and then paying back, and now look where we are. Slightly people do a little bit marginal more depth than what they're paying back. It's nothing, not extreme. Here's the same spot protocol, actually almost exactly at zero, not extreme, like no extremes, nothing to act on. Yeah, so this is the second chart. There was social, now lending borrowing protocol. Maybe I will come back to Bitcoin later on. One, my favorite, or let's say most frequently used one, where I combined a lot of lending borrowing protocols metrics. I combine them, I plot them together in different ways. There is one here important line, yeah, where I take from stable yield. I call it stable yield, is what you get paid if you deposit your money in previously Maker DSR, now in the Sky saving rate model, and you get I think 4.5%. And it combines with average rate you get on Aave and average this both. It's low, 3.9, 4%. So it's not extreme. So market looks like hasn't topped yet. It can go higher. That's why this is the main reason I still say, okay, we probably market will try to push higher from current level to maybe 3.1 in Ethereum, 3.15, maybe 3.2. So it probably has to go higher. And I checked many others. It will be long and complicated to explain everything you see in the screen. But from what I checked, I haven't seen any extreme readings. Yeah. And by the way, yeah, liquidations were at the bottom quite substantial. Yeah? It was a cluster on many protocols, on many assets were liquidated. But currently, yeah, it was last week again. Again, last week. Of course, this week, not liquidation yet. And everything you get as a yield on safe platforms, and I use as a reference safe platforms because high yield you can always get on some new protocols and they do some farming, but it's not a reference for the market condition. Everything low, so probably can grow more. Yeah, God knows how much more. So that was the second one why I believe it can grow higher. And then, Bitcoin. From Bitcoin's stand, a little bit warning size. You remember that was one is one of the reasons why we considered a buy zone last week is, of course, buying the deep, stable, and start being replaced with another narrative which is worrying, concerning, and make you believe market can go lower. That was one, purely based on social. Now, on chain, the pattern of big wallets which started to accumulate some time ago. We need to look here, of course, on the right side. Yeah. So they started buying into falling market, but now they decrease again. Not that good. A bit smaller wallets, a little bit increased. You can say balance it out, but the small wallets, the really concern, which we don't like to see growing, they start growing again their balances. Very small to medium to small, actually 10 Bitcoin already not too small. They start growing. So now you see the whole story. I still believe we can grow in Ethereum 3.2, Bitcoin. What is corresponding level be? I don't even know, like 95. There is a chance, but we see the signs that if even worries are still here, or let's say not enough hit, like high yield you can get on your stables, it means people borrowing to speculate. So my high demand. This we don't see it yet, but we see increase on smaller wallets. So I don't see so much at the moment. Yeah, at the moment, so much potential. So much potential. But once again, and unfortunately, we don't know when we will get to 3,150 or 3.2 in Ethereum. It might happen tomorrow, day tomorrow. Unlikely it will happen exactly on next Friday or Thursday, so we can discuss. So probably we will have to, we will analyze it when we get closer there, and we'll need to do the whole sequence of steps I've been sharing now once again. Lending rates, borrowings, narratives. What is the main narrative? What people are talking about? Just try and understand: is worry still in the market? Is it gone? And how much heat is there? And who is buying accumulated? For now, nothing to do. Black Friday. Chill. So, 15 minutes, as expected, and promised not long time. You can spend better time with your family and friends, unless there are some questions. So I will stop sharing. Yeah. And let me see, Max, did we have any questions? I don't see many. Oh, very good. Maybe everyone took seriously advice to go chill, spend time with friends and family, and already went. No, it's okay. Then we can wrap it up. So today we looked mostly or condensed around behavior analytics. Behavior analytics through the lens of social data, how it was last week, where we are now, a little bit expectation, what we are looking for in order to make a statement once hopefully market grows a bit more. With the statement now, it's not time to take risk, in our opinion. There is still potential up, it's not big. And I would be more looking towards typically this growth is retraced in the past 80% of the time. So the moment we start retracing from this or 3.2 level in Ethereum, 3,200, the moment we start retracing, we go at least 50% down to the bottom. This is where you should start active. At least I will be analyzing and seeing, okay, should I increase position or should I exit? Maybe everyone is so excited and you run, but I don't think everyone will be so excited. We'll see. At the moment, nothing to do. Better. And when there is nothing to do, we need to be honest and fair with ourselves. Can spend time on something else. So this is summary. Yeah. Hope to see you next week with more information, with more directional analysis. And I think we have, no, I'm sure we have a Black Friday discount. Just I'm thinking the name is Max, what is the name? Black Friday 30? What is the name of discount? In in case anyone wants to use it this time. Okay. Okay, cool. Just keep in mind, Black Friday discount, it applies for 1 billion cycle, whatever it is, 1 month, 1 year, whatever you choose. And with this said, nothing to bet. I don't see any questions. Then okay, I only say hi a few times. Good guy.